Ron, well, I'd like you to cook up some content with Gemini in our Safe AI kitchen and notebook. Okay, now we are looking at Ron's Gemini screen, and this is where we can start for training seniors to become our AI allies. So, Ron, you shared that really cool prompt. I don't know if you already created something with it or if you want to prompt it in again, but let's show people how easily they can begin to use AI starting with Gemini.
Okay, well, actually, I was thinking I just did a really quick walk this morning also to get some sunlight. So I'm thinking, because I think, when we were addressing seniors, I think health is one of the big issues. So let me see. This is just top of the mind, of course. And
And the other thing you could ask is to ask Gemini to create a prompt for Notebook or just a just a response, either one.
okay, so I typed in, how can I get the most out of my morning walk to move and get sunlight? Which is my own personal question too.
Okay.
Okay, so it says, so this all comes from, well, a lot of it comes from Andrew Huberman. Okay, so
Oh, okay.
it talks about sunlight, which is really helps reset your circadian rhythm. And then can you read it or should I make let me make it faster.
Why don't we do this? Why don't you copy and paste it and then let's put it right into Notebook and see what we can get out of Notebook from this one simple prompt.
Okay, so I can copy it.
So can you open Notebook?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
so can you go to create new? In fact, yeah, why don't we go to create new? And then if you can go to upload content, you have a copied text at the bottom down there, and then we'll just paste in the text that you copied right into Notebook LM,
okay.
and then you can insert it. All right. So then over there on the right, why don't we go over and create some content? Let's start with the video overview. And then as we're talking, we can come back later in the meeting and share that video overview so people can see that. Then why don't you move over to the left to the audio overview? And if you click on the pencil, Ron, if you click on that, click there. Now there you can select, I'd select short. See the length at the bottom there where it
Oh,
says
short,
select
right.
short? Yeah. Select short first. Now go to brief up above, select that, and now hit generate.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's go back to the audio overview and click the pencil again. Okay, and this time let's just click generate because it will do the default deep dive, and that will be about a 15-minute podcast. We'll generate that.
So it's doing two things at once.
Yeah, it'll do as many things as you want. So now you can go over to the right again to reports and click on briefing doc. That's the third, yeah, briefing doc. Okay, and back to the right again. Now let's go over to slide deck on the right.
So slide deck.
Yeah,
Okay. This is a great tutorial. Thanks.
yeah. Well, this is how easy it is. I mean, what is it taking us? A couple of minutes? And then
Right
what I would do is I would go over to the icon of Notebook over there in the top left and click on that.
here.
Yeah. And then open the notebook again. Right now it still says untitled notebook, but if you click on it, it's probably named the Circadian Walk, optimizing your morning movement and light. And that is what it is now named. So that content is generating. If you see over there on the right, how things are circulating down at the bottom of the
Oh,
right
yes.
column, that means this is generating content, and we will come back to it in the meeting. So why don't you unshare? I will share some more content for this meeting, and then we'll come back to it at the end of the meeting and share maybe the short video, which would be a great way to demonstrate. Because these short videos, Ron, I'd like to teach people how to create these short videos like you just did. And we started how long did that take, the whole thing? Maybe 10 minutes?
Oh, yeah. That demo probably saved me at least an hour or more of trying to figure it out myself. Seriously.
It's that simple. Now, let me ask you if you want to check your notebook LM, has it rendered the content that we created?
Looks like it's all done.
Okay. So why don't you now you can do two things, screen share again, and we'll show how you can download it right to your desktop or share it right here in the meeting. Okay, it's start. There we go. Okay. Now, just as a note, Ron is using the dark mode and the list. You can use a broader graph, or you can use the light mode. So whatever you want, it's just your choice. Okay, so you have a video created, and over there, see those three dots on the right, way far over on the right, Ron? With those three dots, you can download the video that you generated. It says the Circadian Walk.
Is this one?
Yeah, the second one down. Second one down. That's the slideshow. Now click on that, and now you can see you can download it, you can rename it, you can share it, or you can delete it. We don't want to delete it. Now you can download it and upload it into a Gmail, or you can actually, the short ones, you can even load right into a text message because they're pretty small and lightweight, or you can just share it. So why don't we open the video now by clicking on the video on the right-hand side. Okay, now you can make it larger.
Everyone, and welcome. So a lot of us love getting out for a morning walk, right? But what if I told you you're probably missing out on its biggest, most powerful benefits? Today, we are going to dive into how to turn that simple stroll into a powerhouse routine that'll sharpen your focus all day long and, believe it or not, help you sleep like a rock at night. So let's just ask a question right out of the gate. Is your morning walk a huge missed opportunity? I mean, you're already doing the hard part. You're getting out there, which is awesome. But are you cashing in on the full biological reward for your time? Well, let's find out. Okay, first, let's picture the classic good morning walk. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You step outside, you immediately pop on your sunglasses, you've got your phone in hand, maybe a podcast or some music is already playing, and yeah, it feels good. You're moving, you're starting the day right. And don't get me wrong, it absolutely is a positive habit. But what if, and this is the key, what if a few tiny science-backed tweaks that take literally zero extra time could completely supercharge the benefits? We're talking about way more energy, way sharper focus, and a much, much better night's sleep. And this is where we get to the really cool part. This is the science that turns a good walk into a truly great one. It's all about creating something called a circadian anchor. So what on earth is a circadian anchor? Well, think of it like hitting the master reset button for your body's internal 24-hour clock. And it turns out morning sunlight is the most powerful reset button we have. It sends this massive, unmistakable signal to your brain that says, okay, the day has officially started, and that kicks off a whole chain reaction of essential processes in your body. And here's exactly how that chain reaction works. Check this out. As soon as that early, low-angle sunlight hits your eyes, it triggers a healthy spike in cortisol. Now don't worry, that's a good thing in the morning. It's what makes you feel awake and alert. But here's the amazing part. It also starts a 16-hour countdown for your brain to start producing melatonin. You know, the hormone that helps you get sleep? Yes, 16 hours. This is the big takeaway. Your morning walk isn't just for the morning. You are literally telling your body when it should start winding down for bed a full 16 hours in advance. It's incredibly powerful stuff.
That's amazing. So I was thinking too of ways that I could use this because I'm always trying to think of, okay, how can I create more visibility on, let's say, LinkedIn or Facebook? Something I'm definitely going to post this on LinkedIn and Facebook. Here's a way that you can really supercharge your morning walk, and then post that video. And then because on LinkedIn it'll show, well, how many impressions did I get, how many shares did I get, how many comments, and so on. So then, so over time, as I post this, 2 or 3 times a week or more, getting more visibility in an indirect way where people say, wow, this is great. Who is this guy, Ron Horry? So I'm thinking, wow, that is amazing.
Let's go back to your notebook again. Could you screen share your notebook again? And I'll show you about the slideshow, and we can take a look at the slideshow as content as well. Some people might want to use the slideshow to use their own voice. Now, that was an AI generated voice in that video. You could also use the slideshow. Go back to see Studio on the top right, Ron, Studio.
Here.
That's your home base. So click on Studio. Okay, now on the right, see how it took you back to all the
Okay.
content you created?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now go down to the top one, the walk. That's the slideshow. Right there is the slideshow. You can open that. Let's take a look at it. Oh, you could download it, but you can open it right there.
Please click
You'll be able
here.
to open it right there, I think. Double click on it, and you can make it big, expand it good. There we go. Okay,
Oh,
so
wow.
now you can comment on this and you could share these slides one by one, the morning walk. So look at these great slides that you can use that you could talk and mix in a story about FinFit life for LinkedIn and talk about walking and FinFit life at the same time and how you are really a senior peak performer or being a peak performer in your life with walking and financial security with FinFit life. So you could really mix up the story and use this slideshow like a teleprompter. So you don't need a co-host. You could actually have this slideshow kind of as a co-host. So when you run out of something to say, you just change slides, read the slide, and just talk about how you can mix in FinFit life story with a daily walk. What do you think of that?
That is outstanding. I knew you were going to blow my mind, but I didn't realize how much you were going to blow it up.
Well, what I'm so excited about, Ron, is how core and how grounded we can really keep this. Now, I've looked at everything and I'm all about a cross group AI networking across not only Gemini, but ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, all of them really. So, but I also want to get a focus and kind of put on, a tighter focus on what works the simplest, the best, and has the most places to go with it. And I have to say, it is Google. All of my research, and I've looked at everything and continue to, things change. But I believe right now the simplicity is with Gemini and Gmail. You can use Gmail and you can even upload a slideshow into a Gmail to share as well, or a video that you create. So using Gmail, and that's what we want to do with the AI Foundation, is build our Gmail list to really reach as many people. Of course, I can't do it alone. With the help of Google, in order to grow nonprofits with Google and Google AdWords. That's what I think will propel us to over time with reaching 1 million, because it is lifelong. And I love what I'm doing. I'm just gonna do this, my whole life and help other people to do it and pass it on to my children. Like my son Joe was actively involved as an ally, helping me to get the article in Authority magazine up and posted. So, it's fun, it's exciting, it's constant lifelong learning, and there's just so much that we can do with it. So, and I think you went a long way, Ron, to helping me show allies how they can come to a meeting like this, learn how to create a little video, and then share it in our meeting or online to really help us to grow the Senior AI Foundation Education on the Go program.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, one of the ways I was thinking of enrolling more allies is going on LinkedIn and then searching for people that are focusing on seniors.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, that could really, it's like creating, the explode, accelerating the explosion, more or less.
And the other one, there's so many great things about it, but we talk about the good and the bad, the ugly of of AI, and we have to, to be safe, we have to look at all of them. Because one of the things that I'm going to be doing is talking about scary AI facts, and there are a ton of them. For example, Tristan of One Haven told me a story about a woman that had lost, thought she had found her online love of her life, and ended up losing $300,000 in a scam.
Oh,
And
man.
so, talk about the double whammy of losing the person you thought was the love of your life that was really just an AI fake,
Right.
and being out life savings. So her daughter caught it, and that not only did it damage the senior, it damaged the family and the daughter, and her inheritance, and her ability to help take care of her mother. So these are some scary AI facts. Crystal and I talked about being the Paul Revere of AI, spreading the alarm about AI, but also having both sides of the equation to talk about the great opportunities. But they're only great opportunities if you can avoid the risks.
Right.
And so what you really want to do is avoid the risk at all costs. If you take advantage of the opportunities or not, you definitely want to avoid the risk. And they're out there for virtually everybody and their families. And then secondly, the best way to take advantage of using it to enhance your life is by actively using the positive things of it for doctor appointments, for law, all the different things that we have in our lives we want to be able to handle with allies. And those allies can be people like Ron Horry can be your ally, or we can have AI bots that are also our allies, like Google and Gemini and NotebookLM. Those are all allies, active allies, right? Yes,
Right.
you saw. Uh, but we also have to keep the humanity in there. So you need a human ally like Ron Horry as well.
One thing I was thinking too, as a footnote to what you said, there are these scams, which are very prevalent, but also there's these deep fakes, which leads me to talking about news information. Well, it could be fake news, right? And so I think that's another area. It used to be, well, it's harder and harder today to identify what is a deep fake photo or a deep fake video, especially of a person. Let's say it's a politician or some type of influencer, right? So I think that's a super red flag for people to be aware of in terms of what kind of content are they seeing and is it really true? So there's a whole audience out there that we can help them reach out and from a heart-centered way to reach out to their audience. And so that's, because I like to learn and I like to share. And one part of the strategy that caught my attention was the train the trainer, because some people, like to have that one-on-one personal interaction. So we've got these active allies that are learning and then also sharing to their community. So
Well, it's lifelong learning, so that's why the AI living books will be there. We'll be there with Human X. We'll be there ongoing, to have porters and allies like Authority Magazine and the publicity. And yeah, it's just an exciting time. And I'm literally, as a senior, I have to tell you, I've had an exciting career, exciting life. I've got a great family. I am having the time of my life. I'm having
I
fun.
see it. I see it.
And
Well,
I,
actually, I'm thinking of, the analogy is the snowball effect. Let's say you've got
yeah,
this tiny little snowball and you're at the top of the mountain. So you roll the snowball down, and by the time it gets to the bottom, it's this huge avalanche, right?
right. And the
In a
big
good way.
exactly, exactly. And the big step for me is getting the nonprofit in place. That'll open up so many doors. You get so many benefits from so many places when you have a nonprofit, getting free rooms at Capital One Cafe and Walnut Creek for some of the big networking events we put on. There's just a lot of great benefits, especially I think in the era of AI, with having a nonprofit. It shows where your heart is and getting the support from Google. There's just a lot to it. So it's a big puzzle, but there's a lot of big mysteries and puzzles in life, especially with AI. And I use my background as a researcher with NBC to solve everyday problems. And I love it.
Exactly.
It's my
Exactly.
passion and I enjoy doing it. So, Ron
That's
Horry, as always,
outstanding.
thanks for being here, my friend. Thanks for being an ally, an
My
active
pleasure.
ally, a very active
Absolutely.
ally.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Ron.
All right. Have a great weekend.
You too.